Hello, I'm Valerie Hale. Welcome to my podcast, Wealth Yoga Wine. This is what I say on every episode that I've been recording for not quite a year. This is not a broad overview of how I taught myself. This is specific tips and techniques for you to learn in order to save yourself a year of research. I use GarageBand on an iPad. You're going to learn when you look at some of these videos, but not the ones I save for you, that everybody wants you to get an external microphone. You do not need an external microphone. Your iPad has a great microphone. I chose GarageBand because it's easy, it's free, it has Apple Loops, which is free also. No copyright has to be considered. I wanted music, quiet music behind my podcast. Therefore, once you teach yourself GarageBand, and yes, it's easy, make sure you use Narrator, by the way. Don't use the other things that they have to choose from. Once you have recorded on your iPad with GarageBand, you're going to save it to Drive. Also, make sure when you are recording that it does say it's on your Drive, because once you finish, you save your production. You want to rename it. This is easy to do, and then you're going to share it as a song. That goes to your laptop, and it's going to GarageBand iOS. So once you get to GarageBand on your laptop, you'll open GarageBand. You'll have a directional bar at the top, and make sure you have directional arrows. Make sure you're looking at GarageBand for iOS. This took me months to figure out. I'm not a techie. So you're there and your song is going to show up. It's going to look like it was in GarageBand. You click on that, and at the bottom right, that took me a while to figure out also, is the click, it says open. When you open that, you get a dashboard. That dashboard, you want to click on File in order to export to disk. Some of this doesn't make sense, but that's what you got to do. It exports to disk. You can listen to it again. What happens when it exports to disk, it's going to go to Ophonic. Ophonic is free, and there are instructions. Again, my last slide are on the YouTube channel. You can look in the details, and it'll show you all the YouTube things that I studied in order for you to avoid all that research. Ophonic clears up the background noises. It clears up your voice. Your voice sounds much nicer on Ophonic. Again, I said it's free. They have great directions. There's a video there. You have to have file transfer protocol application software before you can transfer it to your podcasting hosting service. So that's a couple of things you need to do before you start anything. You need to upload GarageBand, train yourself on that, get a file transfer protocol, fill that in, have Ophonic help you with that. Once Ophonic exports to disk and makes a song out of it, you're going to open that. You're going to open that for Ophonic, and that's how it uploads to Ophonic, and that they finish your song. But that's why it's important to have the file transfer protocol, so that from GarageBand it can talk to Ophonic, from Ophonic it can talk to Libsyn. Once it's finished at Ophonic, and I understand that this is tricky to understand, but once you start watching these videos that I've saved for you, and over and over again, unless you're really are an IT wizard, once you watch the videos, it does make a lot more sense, and you do have to play around with it. Once you finish with Ophonic, before you can even finish your Ophonic process, you must have artwork. It's very important to have artwork, even if you're thinking you don't need it. You must follow Apple's Pixel specifications. And once you finish Ophonic, there's a couple things that you have to make sure you do. It's 96 bits, which is on the left-hand side. There's a blank there. You want to be sure to put 96 in. Ophonic explains to you why. That's about the only really important things with Ophonic. Then it's going to start production. It finishes in minutes. You get to listen to it again. I never edit mine. I practice my podcast 2 days before I podcast. before I record, it magically goes to Libsyn. Libsyn is so wonderful to use. It has lots of statistics. It's very inexpensive. I think it's $15 a month, but they publish to many, 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 many directories. Really great customer service. You do want to choose a podcast hosting service before you can get out there in the world of podcasting. Dave Jackson is the very first video that you should really listen to on YouTube because he talks about the different podcasting services. It sounds complicated. I think it is complicated, but Ophonic's going to help you. Libsyn's going to help you. You really need four things. You need GarageBand, you need CyberDuck, which is the file transfer, Ophonic, and Libsyn. If you need any help, I am really happy to answer your questions. It took me a year, and I do it every week now. I do know what I'm doing, and I didn't a year ago. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was quick, short, and sweet, but you just let me know if you need more information. Send me an email. It's quit.